Hello and welcome back to Divine Journey 2. Last time we did a little bit with the laser drills and spent a lot of time working with our new Applied Energistics auto-crafting capabilities. We automated a lot of recipes and created a lot of these interface towers and crafting computers so that things become a lot easier for us, as I imagine things will get a lot harder for us in the near future. In between episodes I did a couple things. I set up these travel anchors around the base and gave my pickaxe the travel augment or upgrade so that I can travel to the few that I currently have set up. It's not a ton. I might set up some more, but for now this is fine. Additionally, I set up slag and dirt and clay production because I didn't really have clay and I was kind of running into it a lot, or running into needing it a lot. We have a pulverizer and an induction smelter just trade a pulverized iron back and forth to make slag. We have a sawmill grinding up potatoes for pulped biomass to combine with the slag to make dirt using these sequential fabricators. I could use a crafter here, but I wanted to use a sequential fabricator because it can use the water recipe very easily without having to do too much hassle with RF Tools crafters. So I just used 2 sequential fabricators. And then obviously this last recipe is just the slag that we make up here with the dirt that we make right here, plus some water that we get from an unending bowl to make clay, which is very useful for when we're empowering our diamantine. Today, however, I would like to work on ore processing. With our cool laser drills, we've made an amount of ore. I have this big box here, and this is the unfiltered, unfocused laser drill production that we had. I put in a few kind of notes to myself to guide myself on what to do with some laser lenses to have a better idea of what I would need, and really just to kind of shore up the weaknesses that we have with the laser drill setups. So we have a gray and a purple laser lens in the higher up one to better get silver and lead. And we have a light blue, yellow, lime, and blue laser lens for lapis, emeralds, gold, diamonds, and platinum respectively. Currently this is what we're looking at, and this is what we had. So if you take a bit to look at proportions are a little bit better. We have a lot more lapis. Well, as you can see, this crate's only about half full, and we have about as much lapis as we did from this full crate. Same thing with diamonds. We actually have a lot more, about 1 1/3 as much. Emeralds are already doing about the same. So I think this is going pretty well. I feel like the production now is a lot more in line with what I would want it to be. We're getting a good amount of the oil sand and oil shale, so hopefully we can just plug that into our existing setup over at the thermal warehouse, and we should be good to go with energized dark for a while. And this ore should be enough to see us for at least a while, I would hope. The only real things that I'm really concerned about is probably our short-term silver production, because we're running really low on silver. And beyond that, I'm actually not too pressed about this. I feel that the amount of ore that we get will probably surpass the amount of ore that we need to use, at least for the near future. Emeralds and diamonds particularly are kind of hard to come by because we need a lot for the crystal bundles for elevadium, and elevadium is used for a lot of things, both now and coming soon. So we're going to need a lot, but our ore processing should get us, I want to say like 4 to 6, maybe even 8 of each gem per ore, so hopefully that should see us through. Regarding ore processing more specifically though, I have a few kind of general ideas laid out as it stands already. There's a few priorities I have here on this wall. I've left myself a lot of notes for this one. The first and foremost priority is function. I don't want any ores to be left behind. I want to process the good ores more efficiently, and I want to make it very simple and very easy to just dump things in or have things automatically come in and figure itself out without having to make me do anything. My second priority is modularity. I would like to make it very easy to add more types of ore, and I would like to make it very simple for me to dump ore into the terminal and have it just come straight here. What I'm probably going to be using is either export buses, or maybe storage buses, maybe interfaces. There's a lot of options to pull things out of the system. I'm not sure if I want to basically just pull straight from here into here, but I don't think I do. I think what I would rather do is have this as a storage bus and then export into these things. And finally, I would like to prioritize form. Obviously, I want everything to look good, but this is ultimately our lowest priority of the 3. I do want to make the whole thing look nice, which is kind of why I've set these up in a bit of an array, but I also want it to look nice from the outside, which I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do, or if I'm not going to be able to do, or I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do it very well. We don't really have space out here, as we only have the one block of wall, as you can see. But, we'll figure it out, I'm sure. And this actually might be the final list of notes that I've left myself, are the things of where I would like to put each ore. I have 4 different types of machines that I have set up for each of the ores that I know will get, and if I get more in the future, well, I'll hopefully figure it out. We're going to have some sag mills with melodic grinding balls. These things are really good. They double the main output, they give you about 50% of the bonus output in extra, but they do use a bit more power, which is fine. Power is kind of an issue, but I would rather more ore than more power. Making these melodic grinding balls is a bit of a hassle. It is the chorus fruit, which we are farming, so we just need a passive way to smelt the chorus fruit and to pop it. But it also takes end steel. End steel is a little bit expensive, but it should be fine. The one thing I would be concerned about is end stone, because the rest of the stuff we have passively being made. Obsidian we generate naturally. Steel is coal and iron, which we will make from this. Energized dark is something we also make from this with the oil shale and oil sands. And refined obsidian is diamonds, osmium, and more obsidian, all of which we are still generating. And even then, it's 1 ingot of refined obsidian makes like 4 to 5 grinding balls, and 1 grinding ball is like 16 items or more. Maybe even more, because melodic grinding up balls might have a bigger quote-unquote durability. I'm not certain on that. Secondly, we're going to have these end steel grinding ball sag mills. End steel, as you just saw, is made or used to make melodic alloy, but it has a very high bonus output chance. Things we want to use for end steel are things that we really, really, really want the secondary outputs, like redstone and corallium. Redstone we want to run through these end steel grinding balls because the cinnabar is something that we want a lot of, and we can't really get it from much anywhere else besides cinnabar ore, which is not super common, and these resonating redstone crystals are probably nice to have. Looking through this, I'm not certain why corallium is actually here. I think it's here just because it doesn't use the grinding balls, period, and it just is another place to send it. So I might send those to our 4th machine, the flux anodized furnaces, which we'll come to shortly. The 3rd machine we're using is an induction smelter with the pyroconcentrator augment. This will be for things like nickel and quartz. The reason we're putting nickel here is because nickel in a pyroconcentrator will, or with cinnabar rather, will always give us a platinum ingot, and we always want more platinum. Platinum's always great to have. We can get platinum ore, but waste not, want not is my philosophy. And platinum is something that I don't want to want, you know what I mean? It's used kind of frequently, and I don't want to run out of it, because we need it for diamantine, we need it for enderium. Platinum is a very commonly used thing. Quartz is here just because it really, really, really is efficient in here. This is the best that you can get in terms of yield from quartz. 6, it's equal to the enrichment chamber, but the reason that we're not using the enrichment chamber is because we can get rich slag, which has a handful of uses. I'm not sure if we'll use it very often, but it's nice to build up a stockpile of it, even if we never end up needing more of it. And finally is a flux anodizer furnace. This is really just stuff that we don't need in mass quantities of, because the melodic alloy grinding ball sag mill is going to be probably very overworked. It is the only machine that I have 2 of, and I'm not sure if I'm going to need more because of the demand placed on it. I don't think I will because of the rate at which the laser drills go, but I, better overdo things than underdo things, especially with this pack. So cinnabar we're running through here because we want quicksilver, and we can turn quicksilver into cinnabar if we really need to. Well, I should clarify. Cinnabar ore is what we'd be processing in here to make quicksilver. Cinnabar you can make from quicksilver, so it doesn't hurt to have. Garnet, amethyst, and opal are just a couple gems that, from what I read and looked through, seems like we're only going to need it for a high tier blood magic essence or reagent, I forget which. So we shouldn't need truckloads of it. I am hoping that the flux anodizer will be enough on its own. So the things that we really want to begin with are a wall of storage drawers to put all of our ores or maybe our ingots in. I'm thinking probably just a storage bus of the ores themselves, such that we can basically just act as a buffer system for our ore processing setup, and it will push everything that would ever come into the system into this drawer wall of ores, and then it will pull it all out to process around here. And then it will just go back into the system through an interface more than likely. So we're going to want a lot of drawers here, probably just 2x2s. We probably don't need to get too crazy with it. Again, provided our processing can keep up with our production, we should be fine. The machines I have placed here, I have kind of splurged on. I haven't gone for the crazy capacitors, but I have gone for at least enhanced sag mills for the melodic grinding balls. I'm not sure if I'll need it, but again, better to overkill than underkill. And then I've made a resonant conversion kit for everything else because, I mean, why not? I can, right? So I'm going to start by getting a bunch of drawers ready, hopefully making this wall look nice-ish. That's the goal. And come back when I have a bit more to talk about. Alright, so I'm back, and here's the main idea. Things will look a little bit different here, as expected. And obviously a little messy. We'll clean this up once we're all done. We make things look pretty after it's functional, right? I mean, hence priority number 3. So how it all starts is we're going to have a storage bus here onto this drawer, which is connected to these various drawers here via some framed trim in the wall. Trim is effectively like drawer cabling. It just tells everything that it's supposed to be with this controller here. So these all connect to these 2x2 drawers, and these are all locked, of course, I should clarify. Locked drawers cannot change what they show, if that makes sense. For example, these locked drawers will always be end steel grinding balls and melodic grinding balls. We'll come to this in a moment. So we're going to set up a ore in each of these little windows here. So hopefully this is going to be 40 slots. Hopefully we shouldn't need more than 40 ores. I ran the math and we have 25 ores that we're processing from the laser drill currently. That will probably go up over time, I'm sure, but I don't imagine we'll crest 40. If we do, I mean, it's easy. We'll just put like another drawer every so often. There, don't matter. So this is on like a ridiculously high priority, 10,000. Nothing else in the base is on 10. I think there's like one thing in the base that's on 10,000. I don't remember what it is, which I'm sure is a good thing. So we're then exporting on purple channel here through these conduits and importing into every single machine on purple. Now this sounds like a bad idea until you remember that we have filters. And these big filters are pretty colossal, I'll be honest. These things are huge. Like, these are a lot bigger than I thought they would be. So we're just gonna kind of do it manually, quote unquote, of apply filter, only things that I want to come in here are filtered. So for example, for this one, or rather for these two, we're going to certainly want melodic grinding balls in here. So we're gonna put a melodic grinding ball in this one, and if I had another big item filter, I'd put a melodic grinding ball in that one, and steel grinding ball in that one, etc., etc. You get the idea. Then any unprocessed ores, like dusts or the like, will go extract on the orange channel into these furnaces here, and they will extract on the black channel back into an interface that is down here. Any finished ores, like say the opal, amethyst, and etc. from this furnace here, will also just be extracting on black channel to just skip the step of going to those furnaces. This seems a bit easier than I expected, so I'm kind of expecting something to go wrong. But, I mean, if not, then, I mean, we got it, right? Over here is just a simple crafter with a drawer controller. We're exporting into the back of this crafter with melodic and end steel alloys, and we're making grinding balls. And then the grinding balls are obviously just going to extract from... That's the issue. I found out my problem. I'm currently only extracting from this drawer controller, and I need to be extracting and inputting grinding balls or other things that I will need to add, like say sand for the induction smelter, from the system into here, rather than just pretending that they're there. So I'll figure that out, and I'll talk about that if and when we get, well, not if, when we get there. But beyond that, I think we're just going to start applying some filters and seeing if at least the sag mills work. The induction smelter is going to be something I come back to, not like later, but in a couple minutes, I'm sure. But the main bulk of this is we want to process the majority of these ores, and the vast majority of these are sag mill recipes. Well, processes, you get the idea. So let me go do some filtering, and I'll catch you in a moment. Alright, so I think I have the basics set up. To do a trial run, I'm going to grab a little bit of iron out of... Let's grab half of this iron. We're going to toss it into this here as an example. So we're going to throw this here, so it should import and go straight into here. Yep, looks good. I'm going to turn this on, and one of these sag mills should kick on. Yes. Alright, good. So we know that it actually grinds, now we need to filter outputs. Filtering outputs is actually going to kind of suck now that I'm thinking about it, because there's going to be a lot of just garbage that we do not want even a little bit. Stone is a strong contender, thinking in my mind of stuff we're going to want to avoid. I should get a trash can, which deletes items as a whitelisted conduit on the orange channel. So let me do that, and then we'll see where this goes. So once again, we're going to leave some conduit exposed here just so we can change this if we need to. But, so this should now void any cobblestone that comes through, which shouldn't be, I mean, obviously it's not here, right? So if we take this to orange channel and extract, one of these or all of these should just kick on, right? Well, actually, no, there's no power running up to these. Let me fix that real quick. Well, a few things. Firstly, apologies if there was a chunk boundaries on in the previous clip. Secondly, it would help if I actually turned extract on here. So now it should be flowing into these, I assume. Ah, maybe this is it? Maybe I gotta set these to... Yeah, that's it. I gotta set these to insert. Alright, and then they should all... Oh, they're already extracting. So we should, if we're fast enough, watch our iron be going straight up, right? Yeah, just went from 79 to 81, 83. Alright, it's working. Good stuff. We just gotta put in more filters and the like now, I think. And then we should be able to start automatically importing into the system. And obviously pretty the whole place up. So I'll come back when I got, you know, that part done. Ah, okay, I'm already running into issues. Lapis, we have to specifically call for Lapis to extract to the interface as well. Same with Cinnabar here. And diamonds, obviously. You would think I would have thought a little bit ahead about this. You would be wrong. So let me figure this out. Well, as far as I would see it, I would imagine I have two solutions to this problem. The first of which would be to have different sag mills on different outputs. For example, like the first melodic sag mill could be purple, the second one could be blue, blue is all the gems, etc. But I have the sag mills currently set up in a way, or rather the filter set up in a way, such that it should balance the workload, which is what really matters to me, because I want this to be running pretty comfortably. So instead, we're just gonna throw a filter on orange and have this one as a higher priority. So we're just gonna hard set the things like lapis, diamonds, etc. to be extracting. And obviously we should have this on extracting as well. Now let's go round robin as well. So then it should be pulling the gold out. We want to filter cinnabar as well. Let's throw that in there. Now it looks like it's eating our gold and diamonds. Very good. I am currently dreading what this looks like to our power supply. Oh, this would probably help to be on. To refill our grinding balls. Yep, looking good. Alright, well I'm gonna get back to filtering these drawers up here, and then I'll see if I have any other issues. Yeah, so not even all the machines are running, and uh-oh. That's not good. That's really not good. That's 16,000 R. That's like 3 times what we could make. The batteries are not gonna be happy about this. These are gonna have to... This backlog's gonna hurt our power situation. I think we'll still be fine. If nothing else, we can kind of throttle how fast these go, or just turn off the laser drills, or, you know, we've got a few options, but this is definitely hurting a little bit. But it does feel really good to get all this ore. I mean, look at it all, right? Why is cobblestone going in there? Cobblestone should not be going in there. Cobblestone should be going in here on a higher priority, no? I know why cobblestone's going in here. I had this set to black because I thought I could get away with it being on black. No, probably shouldn't. That will also be on orange, and we'll just set a output filter here for redstone. So it hopefully doesn't smelt our redstone, which I don't think it can, but, you know, it's always good to double check these things. There's going to be a lot of jump cutting, in case you haven't figured this out already. I've also changed the induction smelter. We're just going to have nickel go through this. Quartz would be better to come through this, but I feel like the hassle of trying to figure out how to do sand and cinnabar would be a bit too much of a headache. and I don't really feel like doing that. I could make a second induction smelter, which could get me all that, but that's also a lot of blazing pyrotheum to use. I think we're going to get need a lot of quartz, but I don't think we're going to need that much extra. Plus, if we really need more quartz, we can go laser drill the nether instead. So I think that's the plan. Would you believe it though, with 4 furnaces, we are still bottlenecked by the furnace speeds. That said, I am not in any rush to upgrade these because we are dying on power. We cannot support faster throughput on this. You saw what the power monitor was looking like just a moment ago. We cannot support making this any faster than it already is. But it is already quite fast. I think I'm going to throw iridium in this induction smelter as well. We're probably not going to need that much iridium, but it gives platinum. And I want more of that. I just always want more platinum. Waste not, want not, you know? Alright, so I shut off the laser drills for a little bit, and it looks like we're actually like significantly recovering in power with the laser drills shut off. I didn't know they were taking that much power. I could have sworn they were only like 1500, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Either that or maybe just a lot of these furnaces are backing up, and that's really preventing us from using this like 225 RF a tick. I don't know. This is just a stand-in here, by the way, to see if there's any other junk items. Well, I suppose this is on whitelist cobblestone only, but you get the idea. For some reason, cobblestone keeps showing up in here, so I might set some blacklist filters to these specifically. But once again, I'm just going to kind of keep babysitting this, and if I cut back in, you'll know that there's something wrong with it. Overall, I feel like I've been doing pretty alright with it, though. It's been tolerable, at least. As it stands with regards to our priorities, function is mostly getting there. Our good ores are being processed more efficiently. There should be no ores left after a point. It is pretty modular. We can change filters and stuff as we really need fit. We have access very, very easily and comfortably. Form? I don't hate it. Honestly, a lot of the plugs are in the back. That looks pretty nice. That's kind of cool. Those look honestly a lot better than I thought this drawer wall would ever turn out. I'm really happy with that idea I had. I think this is coming together pretty darn well, if I do say so myself. I'm quite pleased with it. We're gonna throw in an import bus at the, an import bus at the bottom of this crate before too long. I just want to make sure this all works first. And then I'm also going to throw an export bus on the back of the oil sand drawer here, and I'm also going to turn this into a 1x2 drawer to add oil gravel to it as well. Oh. Alright, looks like we got a hard filter. The furnace is over there. So I guess I'll get some filters going and add some blacklists. Just straight up hard blacklists that the furnaces just can't accept. Things like netherrack, cobblestone, and honestly I should probably be using big item filters or advanced item filters. Let's just grab the big ones. May as well. Things around here have seemed pretty stable for a while. I'm going through this big backlog of iron that I had, and the Certus quartz there as well. The last thing that we really need to do is this pyro concentrator, because it needs to supply blazing pyrotheum. But this should be pretty simple. So we should be able to slap a magma crucible on top, and a conversion kit. I guess we'd probably need to run power up to this as well, but I'll get that in a second. I'm going to throw a conduit on the back. We're going to have this import on purple, just like everything else. And we're going to filter it, because it's not particularly smart, it would seem. We're just going to whitelist pyrotheum, and then we're just going to toss some pyrotheum into the interface down here. Just the one. Should extract now and put it up here. Yep. And then we just got to hook up power to it. I didn't really want to have the bundled conduits here, but I suppose it's fine for this. But yeah, so once this recipe finishes, it should automatically extract out to the bottom, I hope. Yes. And then we got to put in a cinnabar filter as well, right there. And then hopefully it doesn't go anywhere besides that. Everything else should be whitelisted. Yeah, perfect. And then this should extract on black, because this is just going straight back to the network. Great. So provided we don't run out of pyrotheum, which we shouldn't, because I've made the sulfur setup that we now have a bit more consistent, and everything else from that is pretty much free to go as well. We should just be able to have infinite blazing pyrotheum, and I think our cinnabar supplies should be fine for the foreseeable future. Looking at this as kind of a general idea, looks like about 5 stacks of redstone gives or for every 5 stacks of redstone, we get about 2 stacks of things we would want to use cinnabar for. So given that we're using the end steel grinding balls, we should be getting twice as much of this. So we should be getting about 2.5 stacks of cinnabar for every 5 stacks of redstone. So we should still be netting a half a stack of cinnabar per 5 stacks profit. We're in the green, basically. Theoretically, at least. We could get a really bad streak and just have it all go sad and be unfortunate, but I mean, it just won't happen. I'm manifesting that it won't happen. So to my understanding, that is basically everything except the items that are in the storage crate. Destabilized redstone, we don't have a immediate production thing of, so I don't particularly need to worry about this. Really, all of these things in here, besides the corallium, we don't produce, but I do want to have them automatically ready to go. The easiest of this seems to be almost certainly aluminum, ender draconium, the various divine RPG ores, and the like. So I'm just going to get the easy stuff out of the way, and then we'll move on and look at what we have left. So it looks like all that we have left is destabilized redstone, which seems to be only really doable through a pulverizer. Or at least the only thing I'd want to do is through a pulverizer, or maybe tectonic initiator, but probably just the pulverizer because I don't see a huge need for these various clath rates. We could make destabilized redstone, or we could gelid cryothium back into redstone. But realistically speaking, probably the best thing to do is probably run the clath rate. If anything, we're going to have a specific setup for the various destabilized redstone, energized glowstone, stuff like that. And gravitite is only runnable through an altar. So I guess we'll just do this manually because I'm not automating an altar for this. Unless I actually need a lot of gravitite, which I don't think I do. I could certainly be wrong, but I don't think I need a ton of gravitite at least. And the only real reason I've been holding off on corallium for this long is just because I wanted a good place to put it. Oh, well, that's not corallium. There we are. Give it the proper color. Give it a lock. That's better. There's corallium done. Well, we gotta filter it, but besides that, there's corallium done. Well, besides all that, I do believe that's ore processing just about finished. We just have to get through that backlog, and once we do that, we can probably kick the laser drill back on. So let's look at our priorities. It works. The filters are pretty simple to add more stuff to. I mean, I've been doing it for the past 2 hours, give or take. Form? I think it looks pretty alright. Again, minus that thing once it's gone, but I think it looks pretty good in here. So I think we did a pretty good job here today. I'll have to see how much time is left in the video, but I mean, if there's more, then I guess we'll continue on from here. So it's the next day now, and after reviewing and editing the previous footage of yesterday, I noticed a few things. The far and away most standout of which was that redstone ore is not affected by grinding balls. At all. Normally on an ore, it would say modified by grinding ball if it's affected by grinding balls, or it would have a grinding ball appear here. For some reason, redstone just isn't. I don't know why. I think it should be, and I'm very upset by this. Because what this now means is that we need to produce 4 times as much redstone as we do nickel and iridium in order to break even on cinnabar. So if we head back to the main area and look at our cinnabar supply, it's been going down! After the initial buffer was filled, this was about 74. It's at 50 now! This is terrible! So we probably need to cut iridium, we might need to cut nickel. I don't know what we're going to do about this, honestly. This is actually disastrous. I really don't know what to do about this besides just not running nickel through this at all, which I suppose we could do. Maybe we have a different laser drill or an excavator dedicated to redstone because we just need so much redstone as well, and cinnabar is going to be really nice to come through from grinding that. But I don't really know. And honestly, the thing that upsets me the most is the entire end steel grinding ball setup doesn't use end steel grinding balls. This thing has been running constantly and it hasn't used a single grinding ball. I can't believe, we have this whole thing set up and it just doesn't do anything. There's no reason for it to exist. Absolutely no reason for the entire end steel grinding ball thing to exist. We just have a big pile of end steel grinding balls, no reason for it. We have this sag mill, there's no reason for it. Ugh. I'm straight up not having a good time, I'll be honest. I'm laughing. I'm having a good time. It's not that big of a deal, but I'm just like, ugh. Unbelievable, unbelievable. Given our current lapis, diamond, emerald, and gold supplies, I'm thinking I'll probably just add another red laser lens, and hopefully that makes up the deficit. The laser lenses, each one seems to add a very significant boost to the yield. I mean, obviously, right? Otherwise, what's the point of them? But I'm hoping that that's just gonna be enough to solve the redstone and cinnabar issue. Once again, like everything we've been doing today, I'm just gonna keep babysitting it for a while, and hopefully that will figure itself out, but... Oh. I guess I gotta also set a blacklist here, huh? But yeah, I'm hoping that this just sorts itself out. I'll keep an eye on the cinnabar. If it's going to like 6, if it gets to 60, I'm thinking we're good. We'll be in the green again. If it's going below 40, I don't know, maybe I'll throw in another laser lens. I don't really want to, because I don't want to kneecap our other production of things that are on this layer, obviously, for this laser drill specifically, to clarify. But also, I just... Ugh. Yeesh. It's been a rough one. I really cannot express the shock, disgust, and anger I felt looking through the footage and seeing, wait a minute, why doesn't the redstone ore recipe have grinding balls? Why doesn't it say modified by grinding balls? Why am I staring at this, explaining why we're doing this, when on screen it says why you can't do this? I cannot believe myself, truly. Oh, and we added some lights in here, because also looking through the footage, it was way too dark, and I would like to apologize. This area is not much brighter, but also it doesn't really need to be much brighter. I mean, I guess we could put some lamps around here, but it doesn't matter too much, I feel. So I'm thinking to round out today with hopefully, a success. We're just going to do these 3 ender alloy ingots here, because I would like to get to these 3 things so I can look at a PvP visualizer. There's no reason, I just want to look at the visualizer because I think it'll look cool when I just like walk around for my own purposes, right? No real reason, I want something to be happy with today. So to start for this one, it's pretty simple. It's just osmiridium and enderium. We're just going to set up a pattern for this, no biggie. This one is the previous ender alloy and steaming Rostonia. We've done steaming Rostonia already. We already have that on, not passive, but autocraft-ish. And ender rope, which is mostly stuff we've done. Again, more of this ender alloy, but some industrial leather, which is this treated leather with a couple of other of these various scraps, or raw industrial leather that's thrown through a chemical injection chamber with some sodium. We'll worry about this recipe in the future. We're just not going to worry about it right now. This is fine for right now. The buffalo hide scraps and imp leather scraps I'm running a little low on, but ideally I can just get a bunch of these with the root summoning rituals or farming the buffalo. And hopefully that's fine for our purposes. And finally, we take the enhanced ender alloy with some crystalline alloys, stuff we made before, things we already have, and pink slime, things we already have, to make the advanced ender alloy. So it should just be mostly making some patterns. And I'll grab this leather here for our enhanced ender alloys, or I guess specifically the ender ropes. Should just be able to toss this in here, and then just craft up some ender alloys. Let's make 4 of this for the quest. Done. We'll take the osmiridium because we probably prefer that. We probably should have taken enderium, but who cares? 4 of the enhanced ender alloys. So let's make 4 of those. Quest complete. We'll take the enderium because I said we should. And 4 advanced ender alloys, which will give us half a stack of each. So 4 of these should be fine. Yeah. What's our elevadium looking like? Could use a bit more once we get to that point. And then I think crystalline alloy is with, I think the main thing that we need for that is the elevadium, so that's fine. Grab that. There we go. Take some enderium, flame. Next we have these couple quests with these ender cores, which we have to right click on an end crystal in the end to activate. Oh, on an end crystal anywhere will convert it. So I guess we can we should put one right in the middle, I think. Right next to the ME system. I think that would be a really good place for that. I don't know where we're gonna put that. I'm like flustered beyond belief today. I really just can't believe. Oh, we have cardboard boxes. Ooh. All right. Okay, I'm feeling better now. I like cardboard boxes. These things are awesome. I don't know what we would need cardboard boxes for at this point, but you know, it's always great to have them. If you're not familiar, cardboard boxes can just pick up any block. Like you can pick up a mob spawner if you really wanted to, which honestly we might be doing that at some point. I feel like there's probably a handful of mob spawners that I would want to just take. Anyway though, let's set a couple patterns for these ender cores. It looks like we just need to make the one of each. So let's start with this one. Oh, we're missing obsidian sticks. Well, I guess we're making more patterns, aren't we? So let's make this one. Shouldn't take super duper long to get finished. There's this one. Candle. We'll take that one in extra. We'll get torch and then campfire, it looks like. So I guess we'll just do some more crafting steps. I guess we'll just queue them all at the same time, right? Oh, no. Well... I mean, actually, I think that's just barely fine. We have just enough of these. Oh, we can actually... Oh. Oh, we actually have a lot more of the imp leather than I thought. No, well then we're totally fine. Alright, yeah, who cares? Well, while we're waiting for our leather, let's grab our enhanced ender core. And grab another one for our item reward. Collect some of our industrial leather. And make our final tier. Easy peasy. Hello? Quest? Oh, there it is. Just didn't give me a jingle. There's a jingle. Alright, so now we can do... Oh my goodness gracious, that's ender tanks. And ender chests. And pouches, for that matter. That's ender everything. Cool! I'm not sure what we would need an ender chest for at the moment, actually. I guess we could use it for the laser drill that's in the end, but we're not really, like, I'll be honest, that's off right now, because there's just so much iridium backed up in that thing. I mean, there's some good gadgets in here. There's, I mean, again, the ender pouch, chest. This is all good stuff. Well, the ender pouch is actually pretty nice because it's theoretically an import bus in your pocket. You just hook this up to some form of extraction, whatever, from an ender chest, and you can just put whatever you want in the pouch, and that takes it into your ME system. I don't know if we would need the tank for anything. It might come up in the future once we do start like Abyssal Craft or something like that. There's a lot of useful gadgets over here, but as it currently stands, I think we're fine. I'm not sure what we would need these capacitors for. Able to hold a max charge of 10,000? 10,000 what? I guess power. It looks like we're going to need these 12 and 6 chip things, so I guess we should probably put some patterns in for these. Looks like it's more of the advanced ender alloy, so we might need to make more of the leather. An AE2 memory card. Oh, compressed carbon? That's an odd thing to need. And these memory cards, which are more memory cards. Huh. I guess I'll set up some patterns for these, and I guess we'll just probably grab a couple quests. Ah, I am starting to see an issue. These do not just upgrade nicely. They upgrade very not nicely, actually. 6 to 8 to 10 to 12. Not my ideal, but I suppose it's what we gotta do all the same. So we should just be able to make this tier 6 memory card. Looks like it's using a bit of our steaming Restonia. I suppose we could probably get some more of this going. Let's make like another 100 empowered if we can. We don't know how to make Restonia itself or bricks, and our buffer on redstone alloy is not that big. So how's about 40? We don't know how to make bricks. That's fair. I suppose that's something we can just teach the system then, while we're doing this. Alright, now if I want to make some Restonia. Cool. And our 6 bytes memory card items is done. We need 4. Man. Oh, and it's gonna take so much industrial leather. Run a whole stack in. If that doesn't do it, then I don't know, I'll cry or something. Alright, we got the last of the crystalline cooking up, which means we got the last of the advanced ender alloys cooking up. There's our memory cards. We're probably gonna need like 3 of the 12s or something like that for the quest, I'm guessing, right? We got 4 of those. Just need the 112, which actually is... what does this take? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, that's a lot of leather. Oh. Well, I mean, the seeming Restonia is not that big of a deal. We just gotta pull some stuff out of the buffer. Maybe we'll increase that to 2 stacks. Doesn't really matter that much. Calculation processors we're making. Compressed carbon is not a problem. Industrial leather is just annoying. I'll get to it. I'll get to it. Well, I gotta say, it's definitely been a while since I've gone to the Nether exploring for really any reason, so maybe I kind of appreciate getting out of the base a little bit. Should have everything we need now to make this 12-byte thing. I just need to wait for a brief eternity for all of this stuff to finish going. Like, look at all this, 48 of these advanced ender alloys. This is a ton of stuff. Yeah, Restonia situation looking like, not great. Let's get some more batched up in the meantime. I'm really hoping I don't need a whole lot more of this ender alloy in the future, because I've been sitting here for like 10-15 minutes just waiting on alloy smelter recipes and crafting. Thankfully, from what I've looked, it doesn't seem like I need a ton of the stuff, but, you know, I don't want to make any more of it. This is taking forever. Thankfully, it looks like we're on the last one, and we have our card. Cool. So we get some, tough choice. I think I'm gonna take, probably the enhanced. Because I don't want to get too much more of the leather. Or I just don't feel like getting too much more of the leather. And that seems to be one of our capstones for this chapter. The other is the rainbow generator, which we will probably be doing next time, I'm thinking. Almost certainly. Because this has probably been plenty of time for today. I think we've gone on long enough. And I didn't even change the poster this time, can you believe it? So yeah, that'll be it from me for today. I think we did pretty good, besides the countless screw-ups in ore processing. But, you know, what can you really ask for? Things happen, mistakes happen, no one's perfect. What matters is that it works now. Until I start next time and tell you how it's all broken. And we also did that stuff with the Ender utilities or whatever that maybe I'll look into more between episodes. But for today, I think we did a pretty good job. I hope you enjoyed, because, I mean, I kinda did. So yeah, consider liking if you liked it, consider subscribing if you subscribed it. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure you can figure it out. And I'll see you next time, if you feel like showing back up next time. Bye-bye.